Hi everybody. So making a video as per request, and I'm going to show everybody foundation and makeup strobing, and yeah, wish me luck. All right, here goes. So this is me, no makeup. My skin is not even. It doesn't glow like it does in the pictures, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So I'm already, my face is washed. Good hydration is key, so you have to use a good face cream. I do use all Younique products, but the only thing I can't seem to part with is my L'Oreal BB cream. So I use that as a base. I also do use Younique's primer, but I mix that with my foundation. So I'm going to show you both. So I use L'Oreal Paris Magic Skin Beautifier BB cream in medium. And it takes the red out, it evens your face out, and it's one of my favorite things. Not something I'm willing to really part with for the results that I get. So one length on your finger all the way around, and I drag the rest and just apply. And it really does even your skin out. Make sure your hands are clean. Don't put your fingers on your face if they're dirty to avoid breakout. And it's like instantaneous, even your skin out. This stuff is great. So it's definitely part of my daily regimen. All right, once that's done, I'm all even. I use, for my face, I don't use powders anymore. I used to use a lot of mineral powders, but after having kids, my skin changed, so it dries and it sets into my creases and my lines. So I went to liquid. So since Younique, I've been using the BB Flawless, and it's a liquid, and you use very little. Goes a long way because the tube kind of looks deceiving. It's not big. And when I first got it, I was kind of worried, like, great, I'm going to go through this in a month, and it didn't happen. So I use Bisque right now, which is my winter color. I have Honey on the way, which is a little bit darker. And to contour my cheeks and my forehead, I use 2 shades up from the norm, and I use the Caramel. So you'll see those both. And I also suggest, because it's my newfound favorite, I use the blending buds. It's absolutely amazing. Everybody should have a set. It really sets your makeup in, makes everything just blend and nothing looks sticky or uneven, and it works pretty good. So on the back of my hand, I do 1 line of the Bisque for myself, and that's as much foundation as I use on my whole face. It's absolutely amazing. I use all the Younique brushes, which is a new thing for me, to paint them on, and it works really well. So I use the foundation brush, and I'm able to get it all over my face without wasting any foundation. So around the eyes, because this is my lighter color, I do tap up top, and you can blend with this as well. Down the bridge of my nose, across. Looks really sloppy, but it all, I promise you, all comes together really well. So I look really good right now. And also I use Glorious Primer. This is the old container. The new one is white, which is Younique's face primer. And I usually, most every day, add a pump of it to my foundation, which is on my hand, which also helps to set it instead of just putting it on my face. I find that it extends the life of my foundation. It makes it set better, and it just adds a dewiness to your face. So that's something that I just decided to do on my own one day, and it worked out really, really well. So get the sides of your nose, especially where there's redness, because I have that problem. I don't know about everybody else, but I can't stand having a red nose. And pretty much all the light areas I brush on, and I'm almost done with all of my foundation. So yeah, 1 line, maybe about 2 inches was all I used on my face. And then I'm going to go to the blending bud. And the beauty of this stuff is it's lightweight, it's sensitive, it covers. I've never gotten a pimple from it at all. And it stays. It doesn't sink into the creases or anything. So now, next thing I use, my blending bud essential, but the rose water. I didn't use it for a while, and you could change your eye pigments with it. You can spray it on your face. There's many great benefits of natural rose water. One day I decided, why not spray it on my blending bud? Let me see what it does. Let me see if it sets the makeup better. And to my surprise, this beautiful little product changed the whole regimen of my makeup. So instead of spraying it on my face or in with my makeup, you know, for eye pigments and stuff, I spray it all over my blending bud. And the reason I do that is because the rose water gives your skin a dewy look. It's actually very, very healthy for your skin. It sets the makeup really well, and your skin looks airbrushed. And it's the most incredible mistake I've made so far. So I usually spray more than once. I spray once with the basic color, and then when I highlight, I spray again on the blending bud. And it works really, really, really well. So your makeup doesn't come off. It sets in and it stays really nicely. Also, if you're using our blending buds or any blending bud, make sure you wet it first. It has to be totally soaked in, because I made that mistake in the beginning and I felt like a fool till I spoke to my colleagues. So your blending bud has to be completely saturated, or all you're going to do is soak up your foundation into your face. Now, if you're using a powder or a cream to powder finish, you can still wet the blending bud with water. You could still spray it with the rose water, and you can still blend even though it's dry. It'll give it a moist look. Again, I use the liquid. So that's already set in about not even a minute. So all of my foundation so far is in, and it's completely even and pretty much looks like I sprayed it on. So that is why I love that stuff so much. And nothing's in the creases. Everything is smooth and even. Next, the Caramel BB Flawless is what I contour my cheeks with. I used to contour more, but not anymore since I discovered the contouring with the light shimmer eye pigment. Cool. And that's what I'm going to teach you is the strobing. So I do less contouring with the dark color because the strobing just highlights the face really nicely. So again, one line. I'm going to use the whole thing. It's all used out of both containers. And then I do a dot of my primer, again, just to mix in with it. Not so much as when I do my whole face. I'm using my foundation brush again. I'm going to mix it in. And I'm going to paint my face with the darker colors and then blend it in. So up the cheek lines, up the side, across the forehead, and whatever's remaining, I'm going to put on the base of my jawline on the bottom. And what that does is it shrinks the face and gives you a thinner appearance, and it contours the color in your face, which is great. And then I also put some on the sides of the noses. It makes my big old nose look a little bit smaller. So up the cheekbone, if you're not sure where, suck in your cheek and it'll appear. I'm used to it, so I don't do that anymore. It looks sloppy, messy, and ridiculous, but I promise you the end product is amazing. Up the sides, make sure your hair is pulled back so you don't get anything in your hair, because I have, and by the time you realize it's there, you're out and you look ridiculous. So across on the sides of my nose. Some people like more on the sides. I don't like a lot on the tip. And then against the jawline. I used to do it darker, but not anymore. Right on the bone. And it creates a nice shadow. And that's pretty much that. Again, blending bud. I'm going to give it a spray, which I just did with the rose water. And I'm going to recontour in the darker color. So I like to use the bottom when I do this because it's a bigger space and it just blends everything better. And you basically go up sides of your cheek, across your forehead, and drag it down. And again, the rose water on the blending bud causes your foundation to set and also gives you a dewy airbrushed appearance. And it blends right in. And it's not too dark. You would think 2 shades lighter would be super dark. I was afraid myself that I was going to look like a fool, but it doesn't. And you can use the shorter side with the tip for the sides of the nose. And that gives the nose a little bit of a narrower appearance. If you want your contouring to look a little bit more dramatic, I'm doing it more subtle. You can add a little bit more and make it darker. But already you could see that my cheekbone's lifted and down here on my face looks thinner. So it's all illusion. It's an amazing thing. And it hides my double chin. So far, just the BB Flawless on my face. I did use the Glorious to mix in with each line of my foundation, one pump. Before that, when my skin was bare, the L'Oreal BB Magic Butter in medium, because I'm just addicted to it. And the rose water on the blending bud is absolutely essential at this point. So my skin looks moist, it looks airbrushed, and my dark circles are gone, and my face looks a lot more even and thin. And this is why I love this stuff so much. So that's it. So you could just do this to your face and just mascara and be good for the day. But this is the base of my face. So if you want to see the strobing and the other highlighting, you can watch for my next video. But that's my foundation tip with the rose water. Absolutely essential on your blending bud. It will completely change everything. It doesn't sting or anything like that, and your makeup will set for the whole day, and you will actually look like you really don't have anything on, and it doesn't come off. So there's nothing on my fingers, and it washes right off. This stuff is pretty awesome. So thank you for watching.